What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fareed and I'm here at the second day of the Rarebloom event in Denver, Colorado. We're right now at the Gaylord Rockies and I have the pleasure of speaking with Michael, Hassan, or Hassan Michael. Can you clarify?
Hassan Michael.
Okay, gotcha. And I know we had some mix-up when we first met at Consensus, so I do apologize for that. I will make sure that I have it right moving forward. And so do you mind kind of explaining what DApp360 Workforce is and what you're actually doing for the project?
Yeah, DApp360 Workforce basically is a career launchpad for proficient Dapp and Web3 developers. So in the Cardano ecosystem, what we do is to find traditional developers and help them launch their career to become Dapp decentralized application developers or Web3 developers based on the passion and the motivation. So we provide training services to that end. We have a very, very rigorous and intensive training program that basically teach them the fundamentals of blockchain, teach them the Cardano ecosystem, also incorporate Haskell, and then we tie that all together in the Cardano programming where we bring in Plutos and we bring in smart contracts and things of the sort.
Got it. So if I understand correctly, you guys are a platform to onboard brand new developers into the Cardano ecosystem.
We're not a platform. We are more of a career launchpad, right? Where we're going to be building. We're not building yet, but we're facilitating the development of developers who want to build new applications in the ecosystem, specifically Cardano.
Got it. Now, understanding that, do you guys have a particular type of developer that you guys are focusing on when it comes to DApp360? Are you guys interested in onboarding, people with no experience? Are you guys looking for people who are, experienced but may not have experience in Web3 per se? Or are you guys looking for, full-blown developers to kind of tidy up some of the areas that they might be lacking in?
That's a very good question. So, at DApp360 Workforce, we bear the financial cost of training every single developer that come into our cohort. And we also have a limited capacity for the purpose of make sure we train correctly. So what that means is with the capacity limitation and the financial burden, we have to make sure that the talent we are bringing into our cohort are up to a certain level. So we have a minimum requirement of at least 3 years of prior programming, professional programming experience. So our program is not for brand new developer or people without any programming experience. However, if you are 3 years experienced programmer and you want to become a Dapp developer or a Web3 developer, then our program is for you.
Gotcha. And there's one thing that you just mentioned that I kind of want to touch on a little bit further. You said that you guys are taking on the cost of training these developers. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah. So we launched this pilot program because we're on a mission to also present to the Cardano community what are some of the difficulties involved in onboarding Haskell developers, because Haskell is a different way of thinking. I'm a developer myself, so thinking, coming from an imperative thought process in the programming world to a functional style of programming requires a mind change. A
mind shift.
And not all developers can adapt to that very easily. So those are some of the things we're trying to make sure in the Cardano ecosystem. We can provide a structured program that kind of guide those who are interested in taking on that new mindset in programming.
Got it. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a developer myself, but I've definitely talked to other people who are, and like you've mentioned, it is a mind shift, and especially how you code when it comes to Haskell. Now, I'm also wondering, because you guys, I don't believe you guys have any connection to IOG. Do you? You guys are not directly funded, or you guys are not directly tied to IOG, are you?
No, we're not directly tied to IOG. We're not directly funded by anything. We are, a private entity, and I'll tell you a real quick story, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
The creation of this company was out of the need, right, to help the Cardano ecosystem solve a certain problem, right? And that problem is we need a lot more developers, right? The more developers, the more application on the Cardano blockchain.
Right.
But the process of onboarding a certain caliber of developer means the training time is a little bit more prolonged than your average JavaScript or Solidity training.
Right.
So to that end, we want to see what is the right formula, right? And our first cohort has revealed a lot of information. For example, we've discovered that your typical boot camp is not accurate. I mean, it's not the right formula for producing the caliber of developers that Cardano needs.
Right. Are you guys using, any IOG materials to train, or are you guys providing custom documentation or custom information when it comes to onboarding these developers?
So our program is very, very, well, I would say unique, and we have a custom syllabus, right? I, as a developer, working along with several training providers, crafted a very unique syllabus, right? For example, our syllabus tend to focus on optimization, scalability, and security. Those are things we incorporate, right? In addition to your standard blockchain and Haskell programming and things of that sort. But what makes us unique in compared to other training providers, for example, we require our talent to do 2 hours of real-time lecture, right, with our instructors. And when I say real-time, you can ask real-time questions to the instructors and have that question. It's not a pre-recorded video, right? We also require them to have 20 to 25 hours per week of actual time, dedicated to that. About 10 hours a week dedicated to concept and theories, and another 10 to 15 hours dedicated to basically working on actual project, right?
Wow.
So with that level of dedication, you can easily see how we're trying to incorporate some kind of proficiency or some kind of baseline of what the expectations are.
Gotcha. The more you speak, the more questions I have, man. So I hope you're ready to answer.
Go for it.
But you mentioned the first cohort. How big was that, and how long did they get, to be trained before they were actually, I guess, done or have gone through graduation? Is that?
So we are currently in the first cohort. It's still running, and based on our research, our initial research before we even crafted our syllabus, and based on the amount of training providers we had, we found that we needed at least, or I should say at most, 40 talent per cohort.
Okay.
Because beyond that, it reduces the ratio of student to teacher interaction. Right. So maintaining that was our limit. We were fortunate enough to find 40 talent. Right. We placed them in the first cohort. Right. Completely paid for.
Wow.
Provided them with all the necessary information they needed. Right. All around the world. Right. We got talent in New Zealand, we got talent in Australia, we got talent in the Middle East, as well as the USA. Coming back to that 40 talent, they've been in the program for about, I would say about 4 months now, going on to 5 months.
Okay.
And we have lost a significant amount of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they just stopped coming, or they?
The intensity of the program, they couldn't meet the demands of that. That was number one. But then some realized that the passion they thought they had for blockchain, it was quite obvious that they didn't have the commitment needed for that.
Right.
And others just realized that it was hard.
Right. That's unfortunate, but I will say there's a lot of opportunity in the space. So hopefully the ones that do stick it out, are able to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
But my other question too was, you're talking about teachers. Are you an actual teacher as a part of the DApp360 Workforce program?
I'm not a teacher, I would say, but I do have a lot of input in the syllabus, right?
Okay.
Just a little background, I'm a 14 years, going on 15 years software developer.
Wow.
Primarily in the imperative programming world, corporate America. And I've developed with Java, C# and JavaScript and some of your other object-oriented programming.
Right.
But there's a certain pedagogy of teaching programming that is required. So I was able to draw from my experience and as well draw from the experience of my training provider to craft our syllabus. So I'm not a teacher, but I heavily impacted the syllabus.
Gotcha. You're as close to being a teacher as you can be without actually being an official teacher. I gotcha. Well, no, thank you for that. So that's a very brief and in-depth intro as to what you guys are doing at DApp360. Where are you guys in your roadmap, and then where do you guys kind of see yourselves in the future?
We do have some projects in the research lab. We're crafting a white paper that is going to be coming out. I don't want to disclose that information quite yet.
I understand.
But it's going to be something in the recruiting space. And as far as roadmap, I would say we're in early stages of crafting a white paper, but nothing actually being built yet.
Got it. Have you guys thought about reaching out to any other projects that are doing similar things to partner or do anything like that?
We've reached out to other projects. We reached out to, and I don't want to name them right now because we exploring potential partnership and potential collaboration. But until those things are finalized, I won't want to touch on them.
Gotcha.
But,
well, as soon as those are finalized, definitely make sure to let me know. I'd be more than happy to share that with the community. And so we're going to be getting close to wrapping up our interview here. So I've got a few other kind of lighthearted questions. Being here at Rarebloom, I've enjoyed it the past few days. Not only the connections, networking, the food as well, the views, so many different things. What's been your biggest takeaway when it comes to Rarebloom?
Rarebloom, my biggest takeaway, being quite candid, is just the networking aspect of it, right? So we came here to create more brand awareness, right, for our project. And I can say after the first day, right, I network with potential partners, right? So I came in not knowing that I was going to meet some of my future partners, and we had conversations, and we found synergy of where we can mutually collaborate, and that's why I'm taking with me from here, right, to certainly see how DApp360 Workforce morph into something more successful.
Gotcha, gotcha. I wish you the best of luck, Hassan. Michael, did I get it right that time?
You got it right this time.
Finally, thank you, thank you. Again, I appreciate your time, man. I wish you the best of luck with DApp360 Workforce, and thank you for coming onto the platform to share everything that you guys are doing.
I appreciate the opportunity.